The warehouse sat like a dark punctuation mark at the edge of Maplewood, quiet, ordinary, and hiding something that had pulled children out of their beds at night. The warehouse sat like a dark punctuation mark at the edge of Maplewood, quiet, ordinary, and hiding something that had pulled children out of their beds at night. Flashlights cut through dust and stale air. The room smelled like overheated electronics, plastic, metal, and long hours. And there it was, a folding table in the center like an altar, 3 laptops, 2 antennas, battery packs wired together, not chaos, an organized system. Beside it stood a young man, no older than 22, unshaven, calm, hands raised, not because he was afraid, but because he expected this moment. His eyes were bright with curiosity, not panic, and his mouth shaped a faint, almost amused calm, like a student being interrupted mid-experiment. His eyes were bright with curiosity, not panic, and his mouth shaped a faint, almost amused calm, like a student being interrupted mid-experiment. Officers moved with practiced caution, surrounding the table, reading the room, measuring the threat. The young man remained still, like he owned the silence. Then, in the far corner, they found Mila, not tied, not gagged, just sitting on an overturned crate, clutching her phone as if it was still speaking to her. Olivia rushed forward and collapsed around her daughter. The hug was desperate, years of fear compressed into one shaking embrace. Mila didn't cry at first. She looked disoriented, as if she'd woken from a dream she still believed mattered. And then she whispered, thin and exhausted, "I passed." Mila didn't cry at first. She looked disoriented, as if she'd woken from a dream she still believed mattered. And then she whispered, thin and exhausted, "I passed." As they escorted the young man outside, he glanced back at the warehouse like a researcher leaving a lab. His voice stayed quiet, almost offended. No one was forced. In the interrogation room, there was no shouting, no theatrics, just a table, a recorder, and a young man who looked proud to finally explain himself. His name was Armand Kessler, a graduate student, behavioral systems research. He spoke with clarity, like someone defending a thesis, confessing to harm. Amina's voice stayed even, not soft, not cruel, controlled. "You manipulated children." She didn't say it to provoke him. She said it because truth shouldn't tremble. Armand leaned forward, describing incentive loops and obedience patterns. Sleep deprivation, synchronization, gamification, words that sounded academic until you remembered who had paid the price. Outside the room, Mila slept in a chair beside her mother. Her breathing was slow, uneven, like a body finally allowed to stop performing. Across the hall, Rayhan sat with his phone dark in his lap. For the first time in weeks, there were no messages, no glow, no countdown, just a boy trying to understand how close he came to disappearing. Later, Amina returned home and opened her notebook, not to chase shadows, but to write a new plan. Armand believed the algorithm existed because children demanded it, but Amina knew something he didn't. Systems can be rewritten, and what had been used to control could be used to protect